to my journey into another weigh-in video. Let me start out by saying, if I don't soon get a haircut, I'm going to be the fifth Beatle. I didn't have her cut it as short last time, and it has grown out shaggy quicker, and I can't take it. I'm going to have to go back sooner than I do. Normally I go back after it just gets too long. It's just a mess. I'm going to have to go back sooner. I just haven't contacted her yet, so I thought we would talk about this hair. It was not a vanity talk. Let me tell you that. And let me show you this. Look at my earrings. If y'all saw my video the other day, these are one of the earrings that I made. Ain't they cute? Oh my gosh. What did I have? Eight pairs. So I got 8 different colors. And guess what? Where'd I put them? Oh. Whoever it was said I bought these, and if I made owl earrings to wear them. Well, guess what? I ordered a second pair, and I'm going to make some owl earrings. I don't know why I didn't think about it. Well, I know why I didn't think about it, because I bought them from my junk journals, and I didn't think about the earring part of it until I was filming my haul, and that's when it came to me. So now I've got to figure out where I put my other set so I can make me some owl earrings. Listen, I got so many earrings and just so many days to wear them, you know. A different pair every day, but I got lots of earrings. Boy, as a teenager, I had lots of earrings. Or as a young adult, I guess I could say. I don't think I had that many as a teenager. Maybe in my 20s, you know. I got some over here that I found in the 90s that are, I guess they're plastic of some sort, but they're like big hearts in bright colors. I'm gonna wear them one day. I used to sport them things. It wasn't the 90s, it was the 80s. I used to sport them things in the 80s because that was the style. The big, bold, you know, bright colors and things. I watched a video this morning about scents that we've lost, you know, from the 70s, and they didn't touch on a lot of things, but they touched on like Love's Baby Soft. They showed the commercial, and that was a creepy commercial. But we didn't think of it that way back then. It was just, we didn't think of it. And I loved Love's Baby Soft. I wish I could find it because I would buy it in a minute. And then they touched on Tickle deodorant. I loved that stuff. I wish I had saved some empty bottles just to sit around and look at because they were just the best. And Kissing Potion, boy, I had my Kissing Potion and different things. And I saw something on it. I get these 80s and 90s and 70s nostalgia things on my Facebook. They're like my favorite thing to look at. And it had that Cody Rare Earth or Sweet Earth. It was the compact. And it had like the 3 or 4 little bomb type solid perfumes. Oh, I remember how those smelled. I'd love to have that too. There's so many things from back in the 70s and or 80s I would love to have. I know those were the 70s. I would love to have. I just want to go back. I just want to go back to the 70s. I just do. Anyway, well, we're here for a weigh-in. I was about to forget what we was here for. I was going to tell you, this is going to be a short video because I just don't believe I got nothing to talk about. I just don't think I do. But I'm glad to report I lost 3.6. I think I did pretty good eating. I did not track. I tracked the beginning of the day. I have like, I don't know, 2-3 pages here where I tracked the beginning of the day, and I didn't use up the whole page, so then I'd start tracking under that. It would just be the beginning of the day, and I would just kind of peter off and not track the rest of it. So I know I didn't do good. I didn't weigh and measure. I just pulled out portions that look like what I should be able to eat. I have added some complex carbs back in there. This is what we can talk about. We've talked about it already. I am going to add complex carbs back, and I think I'll call it high protein, low, simple carb diet because I'm not adding in simple carbs. Complex. Those are the ones that don't spike your blood sugar, and that's where you get your fiber from. That's another thing we're going to talk about. Fiber. I am definitely 1,000% not getting enough fiber. When you concentrate on your protein, you are not concentrating on your foods with fiber. Because if you eat your protein first, you will get full. And then you don't have room or me, I don't want, like if I have a side of broccoli and I eat my meat first, and if I'm still hungry, I just don't want that broccoli. I've got to change that. I've got to, and taters have fiber. Sweet taters have really good fiber, they say. I'm going to look up, high fiber foods. Now, some of these, when it says high fiber, a serving might have 4 grams, like of a vegetable or something. So they have that on a list that says high fiber. But if you add up, I think it says a typical person should have 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day. And that's a lot when you add in to when you can't eat a lot to begin with. If you eat properly, coming from a bariatric surgery standpoint. Even if you didn't have the surgery, if you don't eat a lot, if you watch your portions and you eat your protein first, and you do get full on protein, I'll give you that. I'll tell you, you really do. It doesn't leave you a whole lot of room for fiber, but I've got to, without divulging any secrets, I've got to get more fiber in my diet. So a lot of that I think will come with my complex carbs. So like this coming week, I'm going to have rice, but I'm going to do brown rice. That way I can have a little bit. Now, is that to say I'll never make white rice again? No, because sometimes you just want some white rice. I had made brown rice, and oh my gosh, we used to eat it almost exclusively. Well, it was exclusively. We ate brown rice. And I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I ate it. I'll have to learn to become a fan of it again. Hold on. I don't know if I got my 10 hours last night or not. It is pathetic that my body sleeps 10 hours because I go to bed at like 8:30. I go to bed at 8:30. I stayed up the other night to watch the debate, the presidential address, and it was what time when it was over, and it was so far past my bedtime. I was like, So when he got through, I couldn't even watch no commentary. I had to go to bed, and the next morning I woke up regular time, and I told David, I said, I didn't get my 10 hours. I am sleepy. I was so sleepy all day yesterday. It wasn't even funny. Jacob was here. Oh my gosh. My 2 babies were here yesterday, Holly and Jacob. They hadn't been here in a month because of sickness. David, me, them. I can't do that again. I did get to see him that Saturday. We went down to let them plant her seeds. And then when I come home, that Tuesday I had got sick Monday. Actually, kind of Sunday, but Monday mostly. And I went to the doctor Tuesday, and when I found out I had COVID, so there went another week. So he come in the door. It was raining. Oh my gosh, it was raining. He had his little raincoat on and his rain boots, 2 different rain boots. He just likes to dress like he likes to dress. And he'll tell you it's mismatched socks. Because my feet were up. He likes to put my recliner up and plays doctor on my boo-boos. I got these 2 scars where I had my knees replaced. And I have places down there that I had the wounds that left, the dark areas. And so he gets my back scratchers. And he goes around and he doctors on my wounds, my boo-boos. And so he makes me prop my legs up on the chair. And he knows how to operate it. He propped me up. And he saw on the bottom, he said, you got a hole in your sock. I said, uh-oh, I'm going to have to throw it away. And he said, then you'll have mismatched socks. I told Holly, I said, he didn't say then you'll have different socks. He said mismatched socks. He talks grown. I'll tell you all the times because Holly talks grown to him. He was telling me yesterday, he goes in my refrigerator and hunts stuff, He knows where his stuff is in that drawer. Well, there's a vanilla pudding in there. He said, oh, he wanted a pudding. I'm thinking, Holly teaching him to be a city boy. Want some pudding. I didn't tell him, no, baby, that's pudding. But he sent me a snap this morning. And Holly said, go ahead and talk. He wanted to send me a snap. And he showed he was eating his pudding. and drinking his Danimals. That's what I think it was his Danimals. And he was telling me what all he did. And he would turn around to Holly. He goes, and what else did we do? And she would tell him, we played. He would turn around and tell me, we played. What else did we do? You helped me put away my silverware out of the dishwasher. I helped her put out her silverware. She says she's cleaning her cabinets out and she has a helper. Well, then she sent me a snap here later on. She's got a rug in front of her sink. And she said he is obsessed with that rug. He was laying down on the rug with his tablet and had some pretzel bites, watching Blippi. What was it? Blippi baseball. He was watching Blippi baseball on his tablet, eating pretzel bites, laying on his belly on that rug. She said he's obsessed with it. But he come in yesterday. Listen, when he comes here, he expects Holly to leave. He tells her, go run your errands. He'll tell her. And she says, well, she sent me a thing. She said, I know, this was the day before. She said, I know he's going to want me to leave. She said, but I told him, well, they were my parents first. They were mine first. She said, I want to see them too. So she sat here and talked with us a while, and it was pouring. Oh my gosh, it was a gully washer. She said, well, I ain't going to the grocery store in that. Well, then it eased up. She said, well, I'll go. She said, because she really did have to go to the grocery store. So she had a cup of coffee. She come in, she said, I know what's wrong with me. I didn't have my coffee this morning because they came early, because he got up early. And so she got her coffee, and it was still raining really good. And he told her, was she going to go? And she said, okay, look in my cup. She said, you see this? When this is gone, and number 2, when it stops raining. He would come over there and crawl up on her. She had her cup sitting on the little side table. She said, he ain't getting up here on me. He's trying to see how much coffee I got left. He would go to the door and look to see how much rain. He looked out there and he seen it one time. He told her, he said, it's not raining. She said, okay, I'm going. I finished my coffee, I'm going. So she went to the grocery store. Woo, me and him, because the whole time he wanted to go in the computer room and play, because that's where me and him would go play. I said, well, let's talk to Mommy a little bit and then we'll go. I said, well, Mommy goes to the grocery store. We'll go in there. So as soon as she got out the door, he said, let's go play in the computer room. So we went in the computer room. And David's got a computer chair. Of course, it swivels, you know. He likes to push me from side to side. He likes me to step my feet. I'm shaking you. Like I'm walking. He likes me to do that. But then I picked him up and he could go faster. He was spinning me all the way around. I said, well, we can't do that because Mama's getting dizzy. Like one time around and I was dizzy. I said, we can't do that. We can go side to side. So we done that. And then we played grocery store. He's got his buggy. He loves his buggy. So, you know, I have food in there on my shelves. He said he's going grocery store shopping. I said, well, go ahead. So he looked and found things. So he throwed stuff in his buggy and threw stuff in his buggy. Well, no, let me back up. First, he went in the closet because that was his car. Okay. The right side, I have fold-out doors, bifold doors. The right side is his car. Actually, let me be more specific. He told me it is a red Honda van. And it's very strong. So that's what he told me. So he would get in there and he would make his vroom, 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 vroom noise. Then he would get out. He would get his buggy, go buy his groceries. And he would come over to me. And I was sitting in the chair and he would hand them to me and I would scan them. Boop, boop, and put them on the bed. Boop, boop, and put them on the bed. So then I got them on the bed. I said, okay, that would be $10. And I stuck my hand out. Well, he took the money from me, the play money. Instead of paying me, he took the money. I let it go. I didn't have to, you know. Then he went over there. He got the groceries off the bed, put them in the cart. Then he went over on the left side of the door and put them in. That was the back of the van. That was the trunk. Put the groceries in there. And then he got back on the driving side. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Got out, unloaded he didn't have the buggy at home. He unloaded his groceries over here beside the bed, between the bed and the toys. And he carried everything over there one by one. We did that twice. I had so many groceries I had to put up, it wasn't even funny. Then, so we played all that. Then he said, let's go in Papa's room and watch the skeletons. So we went in Papa's room and we watched the skeletons. And then while we was watching the skeletons, Mommy came home. And he didn't cry to go home. I told him, I said, you got to go to Awana's. And he didn't have a fit. He knew he had to go home, and he knew he had to nap because, he said, I got to go sleep. And Mommy was like, yes, And so he got his little raincoat on and his little mismatched rain boots, and off he went. That's what he says, off we go. He just said yesterday, but that's what he'll say. So we had such a good visit, such a good visit. Then I had to come back here and finish up my menu plan. It was hard this week. I don't know why. I got let's see, 1, 2, just 2 new recipes. And when I don't find new recipes to plug in, then I have to think of stuff that we like, that we've had. And I have a hard time with that. My memory don't serve me very well. I need to start flipping through my cookbook, my home cookbook. I printed and printed all my recipes in 2 binders. I mean, I used some ink and some paper. These are the 4-inch binders, the biggest ones they had at Walmart's. I got one for the sweets, all the sweets, and then one for everything else, because there was not room for all the sweets and everything in one book. It was just not any room. So I got all my categories broken down. I got everything in there. I got a nice hole punch in here, and I've got some I'm about to add to it, because as I go on my website, I find things. I'm like, oh, well, I forgot I made that, and I'll look at the recipe. I'm like, oh, well, we like that. Why I didn't print it out and keep it at the time, I don't know. But I've got some I need to add. And the book is getting very, very full. But I need to, what I did was, in the front of the book, I made a master list of each category. So I can look at the appetizers and see if I have it in there, instead of having to flip all the way through, like to get down to the chicken, flip everything through, and then look at the chicken title page. Not in order, just whatever I got on there. I printed what I had, excuse me, and now I just write in what I have. And in the front, I have the same thing, so I can look through and see if I already have that recipe. And so it's a, excuse me, it's a very good system, but I need to go through that more often to see. And my website, I go on my website. Some things I can read the name of the recipe, and I can't remember if it's something we liked or not. And then I can look at the recipe itself, and I can remember, like, it was okay. Even when I have recipes that are just okay, I tell y'all before that you can do anything you want to my recipes. I don't care. I've told y'all that. I don't know how many times. I haven't told you that in a very long time, but I have told you that many, many times. I don't care what you do to my recipes. Make them your own. So that's why, even to me, mediocre recipes, I still put them on there, because to you, it might hit your taste buds just right. Or you might look at something and say, well, I bet if I do this, I can change it up to be like I like it. And so that's why I put them all on there, because you're welcome to, change them around the way you want to do it. You have to remember, though, a lot of those recipes, when I was on Weight Watchers, have points, and they are ingredient specific in those points. And I might have used, I can't believe it's not Butter Light, but now I would use butter, or I use butter, and I might use, I can't believe it's not butter, stuff like that. When I was on points, you try to make the points, lower, so you use different products. So you can leave them like that if you're on Weight Watchers, but check your points. Always put stuff in your recipe builder. You have to. It's when I make a recipe that's got stuff all conglomerated, I need to put it in the recipe builder. Except for like this thing I just made David this week, this Alfredo beef tortellini. He wanted it again, so I made it for him, but I didn't eat any, because that tortellini is just full of carbs and simple carbs. I didn't eat a bite of it. You know what I ate? I ate toast. Let me tell you, those keto hot dog buns I bought from Walmart's, don't waste your money, your hard-earned money, because they're expensive. They were chewy. I barely heated that thing in the microwave. If you heat a bun too long, it'll get chewy. I barely heated it. It was not even warm. I just wanted to like try to soften it up. I was biting that hot dog, and that bun was just like that. So I'm like, well, I got to find something to do with them. I make garlic bread or just butter bread toast out of any kind of bun, any kind of bread. It don't matter, just to keep from wasting it. So I made a hot dog bun for him, and how you tear them apart. And that's what I ate for supper. Now and it was the protein, so it had protein in it. But that's what I had a cup of coffee. Kind of after I cooked, before I got David up, and that just kind of filled up my belly. So I just had that hot dog bun for supper, and that's all I had. So recipes like that, I'm not going to waste my time putting in the recipe builder, because if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to waste my time. But some things I make, I'll just pick out the meat, and I need to weigh the meat. But this past week, I had a good loss, and I didn't weigh. I'm not saying if you don't weigh and measure and you don't recipe build, you're going to lose a lot of weight. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I need to start doing it, even though I think I ate pretty good this week. Stayed within my stomach portion when I ate my protein. Now, last night I had a Mississippi pot roast that was utterly delicious. I cooked it so long, it was just, oh my gosh, one of the best ones I think I've ever made. Even though you make it the same every time, it was one of the best ones ever. And I made some mashed taters, not out of the bag, real live ones with real taters. I had some of those because taters are so good for you. They say a serving has more potassium than a banana, and that's a good thing. It has fiber, it has all these other little nutrients in it, so taters are not the enemy. Now, you can overeat them and pack on some pounds. I believe that, I do. But a portion, I don't think that's going to hurt you. So I had a portion a small portion under my Mississippi pot roast. Now, where I ate a lot was my fried okra. And I'm sorry, I put up okra from the garden, coated it in cornmeal mix, and just threw it in bags, and I fry it straight from the freezer because it's not stuck together. It's all, loose. I fry it straight from the freezer. I made that specifically to fry. I am from the South. We fry stuff. Let me tell you. I quit frying foods. The most fried I get is when I put some oil in the bottom of the pan to saute or something. Or like when I made my squash patties, I had to give it a little bit of oil, That's the most I get to frying, except for my squash that I put up and my okra that I put up. I don't fry French fries. I put them in the air fryer. Now, I do fry fish when we have fish, because we're going to have fried fish. We're not going to have this broiled or nothing like that, and it's going to be fried flounder. So I like catfish strips. If we get it from the fish camp, David don't care for that, so I don't buy that and fry it. I just fry the flounder because that's what he likes. It's really good, so that's what I grew up eating. But that's the things I fry now. We very rarely have fish, and we don't have squash and okra as often as we need to, because I need to get it up before garden season. I have found out too, I put my breaded squash in the door of the freezer. Let me just tell you, when you put stuff in the door of the freezer, that opening and closing is enough to deteriorate the freshness of it, the word of it, I'm looking for. It's full of ice crystals. When I fry it, the ice crystals go in the oil with it, and when it comes out, some of the stuff has come off of it, and it's crunchy, but it's stuck to it. Now, it was still good. Let me tell you, it was still good. But the integrity of it was compromised. We'll say it like that. The okra is in the freezer. It is perfect. As good as the day I put it in the bag. Not ice crystal one to be seen. So be careful what you put in the door of your freezer. Now, I have in my small freezer, that's my vegetable freezer and other stuff. The big freezer is my meat freezer. That's pretty much the only thing I have in it. Just some little odds and ends in the door. I would put my butter in there, stuff like that. But I put vegetables in the door of the freezer, and they get compromised. Like the broccoli will get ice crystals on it. So the door of your freezer, just be careful what you put in it, because that squash is a perfect example of how opening and closing that door gives so much air on that door that it does not give to the inside. So I will know next year if we have enough to freeze. I told David, don't plant as many as we did last year, because we got so much squash in there. I got enough squash to make squash patties and fried squash in the pan, sauteed fried squash, not deep fried squash. Same with okra. Oh my gosh. That okra put on like it was the end of the world, and that was the last okra going to be made. I don't remember what the type of it was. I don't remember its name, but oh my gosh, we just had 2 rows of it. Me and Holly got more okra than you can imagine in our freezers. It is crazy. And I made it in different ways. I made it, to deep fry. I made it for patties, shredded, and I made it for soups. So I got tons of that, tons of squash. We're not going to get it eat before the new season comes on. We're just not. I'm not making it every week like I should. I have failed at that miserably. I've got to get better at having squash and okra every single week. So I probably need to go on here and add it to my menu plan this week. It's not on there, so I probably need to do that, because it really needs to be eat up, just like our corn on the cob. I got that on there this week. We need to eat that once a week, because we still got plenty of that in the freezer. Don't have much squash, corn off the cob, but we still need to eat it. So the one thing we're running low on is meat. Hamburger meat we use a lot of, and chicken breasts we use a lot of. I have used up all my half chickens. I still got some wings, not many, and I still got some thighs, not many, because I do use those a lot. The bone-in thighs, that's a easy, when I say chicken, that's an easy one. Thaw it out, throw it on the stone, season it up, pop it in the oven. That's an easy one. Or use my homemade shake and bake. That was good the other day. Oh my word. It was so crispy. That skin was so crispy. Yes, I eat the skin. There's some things, I ain't on Weight Watchers. I ain't counting points. There's some things that, even though I'm trying to lose weight, that you got to have some kind of, we have talked about this ad nauseum. You have got to have some kind of enjoyment of life, even while you're on a weight loss journey, or you are going to fizzle out big time. You're going to be like a shooting star that comes through the atmosphere and then is done. We might need to lose weight. We might be big, but we still live. We still live a life. What good is it if you, this is my opinion. What good is it if I work just as hard as I can work, which I need to do to, get my back fixed, which we don't know what else going on with that. So that's, I don't know. But that will come. But in the meantime, I still have a life to live. And if having fried okra and chicken skin and fried squash is too much of a downfall of my diet, I think that's sad. I'm not getting enjoyment from Little Debbie cakes, which the Lord knows I want to. When I'm at the Dollar Tree, they don't have Little Debbie, but they have Mrs. Freshly. Her stuff is good too. Her Swiss rolls, whew, them things are good. Bring them in my house. They're going to disappear. It's going to be a magic trick. Poof. The rabbit in the hat is gone. So I don't bring that kind of enjoyment in my life. But there's certain things food-wise that I will have in my life. I think, what if you go all this hard, balls to the wall, diet to the nth degree. You lose your weight, you die. You were miserable up to the point you died. I can't get on board with that. You got to have some kind of enjoyment in your life, or else, what? Why? You can take that with a grain of salt. Take it however you want to. I'm not giving you. Oh, Kim said, go out and do anything you want to while you're trying to lose weight. No, that ain't what she said. She said if there are some things that bring you enjoyment that you're not going to overdo on, I'm not going to fry squash every day. That would be overdoing it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fry okra every day. I'm not going to eat chicken skin every day because we eat a lot of boneless, skinless chicken thighs and breasts. The only chicken skin we get are the chicken thighs and the wings. So, and that's not every day. So, this is yesterday's water. All the ice is gone. And it's not ice cold. I like ice cold water. So anyway, that's all I'm saying about a diet is I think I still have to enjoy life to some extent. There has to be some kind of joy. Now, yes, I get joy from my grandson, but I'm talking about food-wise because, like I said, you can burn out. Burn out big time. And guess what happens when you burn out? I'll tell you what happens when I burn out. Anything and everything. I have been fighting. I'm going to tell you what. I have been fighting and I have been winning the battle with Nutella. I want Nutella so bad. I will go through spells when I'm burnt out and I need Nutella. Well, I'm crazy. I give up the sugar. Like sugar and barbecue sauce, I'm not worried about that, or sugar and ketchup. That's not the kind of sugar I'm giving up. I'm giving up the sweets, the cakes and cookies. Now, there will be muffins and breads coming up that's going to have probably sugar. I don't know if they're written with substitutes because I use the Sweet Complete, Trivia Sweet Complete, and I'll probably substitute that, but we're going to do a wheat germ series. I have my notes over here on wheat germ. I just want to go over them again, and then we'll do a video on that and do some recipes for wheat germ because wheat germ is really good for you. But that's the sugary things I give up, the cakes and the cookies and the pies and the ice cream and the Nutella. Publix ending today. It ends today. Thank goodness. I have been fighting, going to get it, buy one, get one free. BOGO on the Nutella. Ooh. Take the wheel. That's all I'm going to say about it. I have not done it, and I tell David about it every day. I want some Nutella. But I know I get that. A lot of times you can get something. Well, go ahead and get your fix and then get it out of your system. I cannot take a fix of Nutella. It will become a habit. I will eat the whole jar. I'll be sick as a dog. I will be miserable. I will say, why did I do that? I can't do it again. And then I'll get that free jar, that BOGO one, and I'll do the same thing. And I will eat it every day. I will eat it every single day. And then guess what's going to be next? Oh, I'll have some cookies. I still have my Oreo cookies, my Post Malone Oreo cookies. They're still sitting in there in the box. I ain't touched them again. I had one about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And they come 2 in a pack, so that's what I had. I had two Oreos. But it didn't send me into a tailspin. So that's how I know I'm doing good on this sugar habit. Quitting the sugar. But Nutella would bring me back. The Little Debbie cakes would bring me back. Those 2 things, can't do it. So those are 2 things that are not going to be a part of my enjoyment because I can't take a bite of Nutella and say, okay, well, I'm going to throw that jar away. Oh, no, sir. No, sir. I can't eat one Little Debbie cake and say, well, I'm going to throw that box away. You know when I'm going to throw that box away? When it's empty. That's when it's going away. So enjoy things that are not going to put you into a tailspin of no self-control. That's the best advice I can give you. So I don't think we got nothing else to talk about. Listen, if I had a life, I would have things to talk about, but I don't work, so I can't talk about work. Uncle Eddie over there moved, so I can't talk about him, which sounds terrible talking about him, but talking about his antics. And ain't springtime on the porch, so I can't talk about Southern boys in their loud trucks. We'll get to that. And the birds, all the beautiful birds coming in. So we'll get to porch chatting maybe for long. David said it was cold out there this morning. I was considering going out there because, last week it was nice enough. I told him when he came this morning, I said, is it cold? He said, yeah. So I'm like, well, okay, well, we'll just come in here and see it. Was there anything else I was going to tell you? I am going to work on another high protein breakfast video for you this week. That won't come out this week, but I'm going to work on filming it this week. I still have got to start my chaffle recipe series. We're going to do a wheat germ series, and I hope these are all things that are going to help you. And I've just got to do them. I've got a lot of filming to do, a lot of things I want to do. Oh, I meant to look and see if I had coconut flour, and if I didn't, I'll have to buy some. I think I had a little bit. I've got a recipe for breakfast for something that uses like a quarter cup of coconut flour, not sugar, coconut flour. So anyway, I think that's it. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Lost 3.6, happy about that. And this is Thursday, so I'll see you tomorrow for a thrift haul.